Me and Raj get a lot of stick because certain ethnic groups don't like people like Raj and I supporting and loving Britain and England. So, take yesterday for example. I wore my England top. One chap came up to me, never seen him before. He was clearly an African immigrant, and he decided to lecture me how England football team are rubbish, and how even though France won the World Cup, it was really Africa that won it because the majority of members of the team were African descent. When I asked him, but weren't those players brought up in France? In other words, they took advantage of the facilities that a country like France offers to its students. He said it didn't matter. So, but that was okay. Just the way he went about it, where he made a beeline for me, and he didn't really start the conversation really well. That's okay. Then I went over to another group, mixture of Muslims. Didn't like the fact I was wearing an England shirt. My attitude is okay, but then they always, these groups always like to bring in the fact that white people are racist. And yet, I don't face any racism, certainly not these days, by any white people. It all comes from ethnic people, non-British Punjabi people, and from Speaker's Corner. When I go to some of the protests for Tommy Robinson, no racism. Had one encounter and he wasn't even part of the protest. I get loads of racism from non-white, non-British Punjabi people. I don't understand what their issue is. Well, their issue seems to be that they have an issue with white people suppressing them, but they don't seem to have the comprehension to distinguish between the Western establishments and the Western people, i.e. the indigenous white people. Because what they can't comprehend is local British white people, for example, are suppressed as well. They may not be suppressed as their groups or their community, because they're suppressed in different ways, but they're still suppressed. They're still experiencing the divide and rule formula being implemented upon them. They're still experiencing being suppressed economically and freedom. Just because different groups don't live in the same community within the same street doesn't mean that they're not experiencing issues as well. So this type of thing carried on throughout yesterday at Speaker's Corner for me. In fairness, I did wear the England top knowing that I would face that type of issues, but that shouldn't stop me from wearing anything. If I want to wear an England top, I'm going to wear an England top. Might wear a Scottish top tomorrow or a Welsh top. But the level of hatred that's generated. And the other thing I've noticed is hardly anyone works for a living. I mean, I'm self-employed. I'm a financial trader, so I don't have a job as per se. But no one seems, no one seems to work. Very few people seem to have some kind of job. But anyway, so that was the negative side of Speaker's Corner yesterday. The positive was two gentlemen from two British Punjabi gentlemen, British Sikhs, sorry, I should say, from the organisation SAS, Sikh Awareness Society, came down. And so a big thank you to both of those gentlemen, a big thank you to the SAS team throughout the UK and the work they're doing. And if you don't know what the Sikh Awareness Society do, is basically they are on the ground level helping victims of grooming. Now Raj gets a lot of stick by calling grooming gangs Muslim grooming gangs or Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs, and these guys are in the forefront. And like they said, you'll see the video, like they said, that majority of the cases, the culprits, the predators, the demons are from Muslim origin. But we don't really need them to confirm that. Anybody who's able to have any command of the English language and can read the reports and can read the names, you know, that is statistical fact. So I was really happy to see those guys come down and share their knowledge, share their experience, because they do a lot of hard work, and you have to remember that helping victims and helping the families of victims is very taxing, not just in terms of physical and time-wise, but it's very taxing on your soul, on your energy, because the type of things that you come across, because those girls are being tortured and abused, and I don't think tortured and abused is not even a sufficient couple of words to describe what these girls go through, but let's just go with it. And these guys have to be a pillar of support, not just during the recovery of the child or of the woman, you know, also afterwards, to give them support so they can have every chance possible to live a normal life. So a big thank you, and also to Sikh Youth UK as well. I know they're doing fantastic jobs. So hopefully more of these types of heroes from the British Punjabi, British Sikh community will come down to Speaker's Corner. And if you are involved or not involved, and you're from the British Punjabi community, then please do come down. Let's support Raj. I try to do the same as much as possible, and my only objective is to have the truth be put out there and let people decide, not to go with any particular how can I say method or you know, what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to brainwash people into thinking any way. I'm just trying to get the facts and figures and information out there. But anyway, that's that. What I've also noticed with Speaker's Corner, now this is very interesting. What I've noticed is nearly everyone seem to be singing from the same hymn book, so to speak. And what I mean by that is every single person is, it's almost as if they're meeting somewhere and they're being organised taught particular arguments over certain situations and certain debates. And I tell you what I mean. I went for a tea break and I conversed with an English gentleman, and I said, do you think that some of these debaters are being paid to do what they do? And the reason why I asked that, because I was alerted yesterday that there are some hidden Muslims within Speaker's Corner, and I've been advised that their objective is to soften the average person into being indoctrinated by their faith. Now, indoctrinating somebody into your faith is one thing, but doing it by stealth, grooming, I suppose, is another thing. But my point of asking this question was that to do that type of activity, you need some motivation to do something that's not perfectly honest. So, what is that motivation? Is it their faith? Highly unlikely, because you wouldn't really be following a faith if you're committing crimes against your fellow man. So my question was, are they being paid? Because you do hear of certain groups, extreme right-wing religious groups, being paid by another right-wing group or whoever, to put across a political agenda through religion, through politics, whatever. But this gentleman said, I'm not sure if they're being paid, but they are most definitely being trained. And that makes sense to me, because nearly everyone who seemed to be from a certain racial or religious class, which is mostly the religious class in Speaker's Corner, is mostly Muslim gentlemen. That's a fact. And the different types of Muslim varies. It can be African Muslims, it can be Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Middle Eastern, whoever. But they all seem to have the same argument, the same wording, the same approach, the same denial almost, which is fine. I'm not criticizing them for having a argument or a viewpoint. My point is, like, how can something be so organized? It seems a bit creepy. Creepy is not the right word. It seems a bit odd to me. So I'll be looking into that, I think, over the next few weeks. But I hung around with Hassan for a bit today. Yesterday. He's brilliant. He really is value for money. He gets into a lot of heated debates, but I don't think no one takes it seriously, too seriously. It's we know Hassan. He speaks from his heart, and yeah, more British Punjabis came down, which was fantastic. We had a great discussion. It was a good day, but the amount of stick I received for wearing the England shirt, it was alarming. I mean, obviously, if Speaker's Corner is a reflection of London, then there is a lot of racism or hatred, certainly, towards England from the very people who live in the country, which is alarming. Anyway, that's enough for that. I'm thinking of doing some, actually before I go, doing some live shows on YouTube. Half of me thinks I should do like a talk show where British Punjabis, British Sikhs, and even British Indians can call in and we can discuss matters. Another part of me thinks perhaps do something about financial trading to help people understand investments. And part of me thinks just do a general non-targeted live show. But I don't know. I'm not sure what I should do. I suppose I could do an hour every evening, and people could call in what their issues are. You see, there's I have a lot of experience that I can share with everybody. Apart from my financial trading, I've written 3 books, and I know people have a block. They think writing a book is hard. It's not. So I could help with things like that. I've set up a number of successful businesses. I could really help people from every community to use my knowledge in becoming successful in their own business ventures, and also just other topics that anyone wants to discuss. If it's something that I can help with, or certainly we can get other guests in or other callers in to answer those questions. You know, yeah. So I'm just thinking about that, what to do, how to do it. But if you have any suggestions, then leave them in the comments below. See you later.